अभी भी कोविड महामारी हमारे बीच में है। हम सेकेंड वेव, चाहे लिमिटेड ज्योग्राफी में ही सही, हम सेकेंड वेव से अभी भी जूझ रहे हैं।
मैं आज फिर से जोर देकर के इस बात को दोहराना चाहता हूं, सार्वजनिक स्थलों पर भीड़ लगने से रोकने के लिए हमें सजग, सतर्क और सख्त होना पड़ेगा।
हमें अगर थर्ड वेव को नहीं होने देना है तो देश में कंसर्टेड एफर्ट, रिस्पॉन्सिबल एफर्ट, सजगता से, सतर्कता से, सख्ती से और सबके साथ मिलजुल के हमें आगे बढ़ना है।
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. India is unlocking, and even though the COVID cases are nowhere near the peak of the second wave, the threat is clear and present amidst a breakdown of COVID protocols. From marketplaces to tourists flocking to the hills to beat the heat wave, to religious events with the potential of becoming super spreaders, COVID rules are being brazenly flouted across the country. The virus is always in attack mode. It is constantly mutating to become more transmissible and sidestep all treatments and precautions. The Delta variant wreaked havoc across the country during the second wave, killing thousands and crippling the medical infrastructure as well as the economy. And now over 60 cases of the Delta Plus variant have been reported with the rise of the Lambda variant in some parts of the world. This comes as our vaccination drive continues to fluctuate. We are nowhere near the record-breaking 86 lakh vaccine doses which were administered on June 21st on the first day of the centralized inoculation drive. Now, an average of 25 to 30 lakh doses are being administered every day, while effectively we are armed with 3 vaccines with more still in the pipeline. This is the situation India finds itself in, as experts suggest the third wave could hit us in August. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a meeting with the chief ministers of the 6 worst hit states, including Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Orissa, Maharashtra and Kerala, with the directive of test, track, treat and Tika, that is the vaccine, calling for the effective enforcement of COVID rules and micro-containment strategies to tackle surge or instead of statewide lockdowns. He also said that states must cooperate with the centre as well as each other to deter the third wave. It seems the next big surge in cases is inevitable. We witnessed during the second wave how the infrastructure was unprepared, from vaccines, medicines, beds to oxygen. The health system was just not up to the mark. The question is, are we ready now? Are we in a position to manage the third wave better than the second wave? Joining me on the show, Professor Anupam Sibal. He is the Group Medical Director and Senior Pediatrician at Apollo Hospitals. Dr. Jaleel Parker, India's topmost pulmonologist. Dr. Sunila Garg, Member Lancet Commission and COVID-19 Task Force. Dr. S.C.L. Gupta, Medical Director, Dr. Batra Hospital in the National Capital. Dr. Joseph Brito is former consultant and honorary senior lecturer in pediatric intensive care at Imperial College, St. Mary's Hospital, London. Dr. Gupta, I'm coming to you. What are the factors that will decide the magnitude and timing of the third wave?
See, the things are very clear now. If you are not following the protocols of the COVID, what the Prime Minister has said today, the way crowd is increasing in the tourist places, the marketplaces, individual choices, they are not following the COVID protocols, no social distancing or the personal distancing, no use of masks. This is the one factor which is responsible for the early onset of the third wave. The second, of course, people, those who are suffering from, those who suffered from COVID, and they are relaxed now. They think that ab mujhe to nahi hone wala. And you have seen the result yesterday only. The first patient who got COVID-19 here has got a second infection. So you should not be feeling at all that in case something has happened to you.
But Dr. Gupta, does the secondary infection lead to hospitalization? And is this equally severe?
Of course. And third thing is vaccination. Now, you already told us that 85 lakhs on the first day, 21st June. And today, 35 lakhs vaccination. Today, only 5.3% of the persons in India, they have got both the doses.
Yes.
35%.
Yes, I'm going to come to the point of vaccination in just a bit. But before that,
dose.
Yes, Dr. Parker, the medical community and the health experts are divided. The third wave will be bigger than the second wave, some say. There are others who are saying that the third wave will depend on the pace of the vaccines. Some are also saying that the inevitable third wave will be less virulent. If pandemic is about reading signs, this is like science, why is it difficult to predict first the wave? And secondly, when is it likely to hit us and how severe will it be?
See, first of all, we all should understand that the waves that are coming in, whether it is the first wave, second wave, the third wave, if you see the chronology of events, I think, no sooner the wave comes in, we have a lockdown, we go into a lockdown for 2-3 months, then we slowly open the lockdown, then again everybody starts meeting one another, no social distancing, no face mask, no sanitization, and then slowly again the second wave comes. Now, let us not keep on harping about wave after wave. My request to all our Indian citizens, let us rise above the occasion and let us rise above petty politics of religion, state-wise, whatever you want to call. Please get vaccinated. Vaccination is the most important if you don't want to have seriousness of the waves that are going to come, the variants in the COVID virus that is going to come. So we are all wasting our time harping about the waves that are going to come, harping about the severity, harping about the admissions, the number of people who are going to get affected. But why aren't we paying attention to getting vaccinated? And why aren't we paying attention to maintain social distancing? Isn't it a responsibility of each and every individual citizen of our country?
Absolutely.
Why are we blaming the government time and again? Please wake up and help the government, because this is a catastrophe that is happening all around the world.
It's about individual responsibility as much as you're talking about rightly, Dr. Parker. Dr. Sibal, a lot of emphasis clearly is on vaccination. India has administered at least one dose to 22.4% of the population till July 9th, while only 5.3% have been fully vaccinated. At the 6th month, what can we do differently?
Thank you, Maria. Always a pleasure to be on your show. So today is a landmark. And when we look back, I think we can derive satisfaction from the fact that, we've crossed 37 crore vaccines. We've done 3 crores more than the US, even though we started 30 days late. The question now is 6 months down the road, what more? So I'm going to make 4 points. The first is, can we actually look at vaccination differently? While we continue with what is happening, and yes, we did more than 3 million than the US in one calendar day in June. And while we continue on this, can we create a model? And I want to take us back to the 2019 election. We had 900 million voters, 60 crore Indians voted. We had 1 million booths. We had elections over 6 phases. And 60 crore people voted. So why can't we actually do this on an election mode? Why can't we have 6 or 5 or 4 or 8 special COVID vaccination days? The entire nation mobilizes. we can actually vaccinate as many as 5 crore people in a day. And we do understand that in August, we're going to have 20 crore plus vaccines. So let me just go through the details. The next question is, how are you going to do this without disrupting healthcare? Where are the vaccinators from? So the Election Commission has it mapped out beautifully in terms of the polling booths, in terms of how to do that. So we dovetail this to the Election Commission's preparation for election. We look at 150,000 third prof and fourth prof medical students who are not involved in clinical care, so you do not disrupt care. So 1.5 lakh vaccinators there. 1 lakh doctors out of the 10 lakh doctors we have in India can be mobilized, and this is only like 1 day in a week, and 2.5 lakh nurses. So that gives you 5 lakh vaccinators. Each vaccinator can vaccinate 100 people in 1 working day. Now, the key is going to be logistics on deploying these teams, just like we deploy a whole lot of
what
people.
will you
for
be
an
telling
election.
those states
Why can't we do
who
that?
are actually telling the center that there is vaccine shortage?
No, so the question is that we have to mobilize as a country. I think the Prime Minister talked today about the 40s. We have to do this like it's never been done before. Otherwise, how many waves are we going to go through this? Every time we open up, we're going to see an escalation of cases. Unless we vaccinate the vast majority of the country, we can't really come back to a sense of normalcy. So we have no shortcut there. So why can't we think differently and do something truly dramatic, path-breaking, and it's doable?
Yes.
I mean, there is a model. There is a model that we do. We run the largest elections in the world. We've been doing this very effectively every 5 years. So why don't we dovetail onto that and do that? So that's my first point, have COVID vaccination special days. You can actually do 30 crore people in 6 of those special days,
that's a
which
very
is
important part.
a little bit, I mean, 7 crores less than what we've achieved in 6 months. While we continue with this, the key, of course, is a lot of planning, very precise planning, logistics, and availability of vaccines. The second point on vaccination is we need to change the messaging. Can we have a different person actually address us when we dial any number? Can we have a more precise message? Can the message change? Third point, a call to action for every citizen. I've got vaccinated. Can everyone vaccinate 2 people? We know that there are people, disadvantaged people, who don't know how to log in, who have difficulty in getting to a vaccination center. Now, if every person takes it upon him or herself to vaccinate 2 more people, we've got a call to action. And the fourth and final point is change the narrative in terms of the messaging. Now, it needs to be pregnant ladies, lactating mothers. There are doubts that some people have about comorbidities, about clotting, and we know that the risk is 4.5 times more if you get COVID than with the vaccine, one of the vaccines that we have. So I think the messaging has to be very precise. It should address the doubts people have. It can't just be
I'm hoping that people will be taking that as a thought, certainly. Help those who will not be able to maybe log on to CoWIN app, book their slot, ensure that they reach a vaccination center and get them vaccinated. Dr. Sunila Garg, decline in cases has slowed down. It's a warning signal is what Dr. V.K. Paul of Niti Aayog is saying. Is this an indication that third wave is around and it has perhaps hit us in certain parts already? Because we have seen how India responded, every country responds differently, and given the vastness of our country, different states saw peak during second wave and the first wave differently at different times.
Definitely, this is a very, very important question, and thank you, Maria, for asking this question. Number one important point is, as has been pointed out earlier by Dr. Gupta, that first of all, COVID appropriate behavior has gone for a toss. Number two is that we have to realize that each state has behaved differently in terms of number of infections. So we started with, about 163% increase in state of Maharashtra. But if we look at other states, some of the other states have gone up to increase by 210% and all that, because you see number of people infected were less in the earlier part. So now when we are looking at, so these two things over a period of time, if COVID appropriate behavior is not going to be followed, number two, immunity is declining over a period of time. So, and then, compounded by the Delta variants, which is, which is spreading very, very fastly. So that will be another important issue that will play. And then the super spreading events, that these are 4 important things which will play a very, very crucial role in occurrence of the, what you call it as a wave or occurrence in number of cases. But we have to act smart. That means, we have to act smart in terms of our vaccination strategy. We know how many vaccines are there. 20 crore vaccines will come somewhere in the month of August. So vaccinations are there, from August onwards, they will go to, we will have 1.35 billion doses till the month of December. So we have to see first that we vaccinate those individuals who have not been infected earlier, number one. Number two is that we also have to see vulnerable populations, like rural populations and all, they need to be vaccinated, or peri-urban and tribal populations. So we need to focus on those areas. So, and also we have got the data, like, if we look at Andhra Pradesh, only 21.44% have been vaccinated. Similarly, if you look at Uttar Pradesh, only 19% of the population, or West Bengal, 27.6%, Bihar, 19%. From the country's perspective, let me tell you, we have got 29,000 cold chain points across, which are being utilized and against which we can create 4 or 5 vaccination points. Even if we create, so-called 1 lakh points, so we will be giving 100 vaccinations per day to be
1 crore vaccinations, per day. So that will mean 30 crore vaccinations, provided we have the vaccinations immediately, which will be there from August mid to September onwards.
Okay, on those thoughts, particularly of what Dr. Sibal and Dr. Garg said, there is a plan they have suggested certainly to various governments in the centre and also in the state. Dr. Brito, come in on this. India continues to report roughly 40,000 new cases of COVID-19 every day, even now. While this number is barely 10% of the peak that we have seen in May 2021, it is still high. It is true that North and Central India are reporting fewer incidences of coronavirus infection now, but West, South and Northeast India are still reporting high numbers. So how should we be viewing this?
Myra, good evening, and good evening to all my panelists. As long as there are cases, there will be replication. As long as there's replication, there's going to be mutations. The SARS-CoV-2 virus has 30,000 amino acid bases. Every 1,000 bases replication of 1,000 results in one mutation. Over 365 replicating days, there will be 24 mutations. Not all of them are going to be deleterious. Most of them are going to be null mutations, not deleterious. It is simply the role of genetic dice, the virus gene dice. And if the next variant, we have currently 11 variants right now, 4 of concern, 7 of interest. If the next variant has one or a combination of 3 factors, either increased transmissibility, increased virulence, meaning severity of disease, or increased ability to escape either natural immunity or infection immunity, we will see a third, and as Dr. Parker says, subsequent surges. And we can never prepare for them. We'll never have enough oxygen, beds, or doctors. India has 0.68 doctors per 1,000, and ideally WHO recommends 1. In rural areas in India, we have 0.1. That's 1 per 10,000 doctors. We will never have the healthcare infrastructure that we need. And the only way forward is vaccination. Yesterday in the UK, there were 550 new cases reported per million. India had just 25. The UK has 25 times more new reported cases per million, but yet their hospitalization hasn't increased, simply because with 60% of their population vaccinated, the link between infection and hospitalization has been broken. India is under-vaccinated. Just less than 6% of India has been fully vaccinated.
Yes, that's
and therein lies the problem. We do not have the doses.
And we do not have the luxury of time also, Dr. Brito. Let me give the final words to Dr. Parker. Dr. Parker, it's been 7 months since the US and the UK started vaccinating their residents. Both have vaccinated more than half of the adult population. How effective have that been if we listen to what Dr. Brito said, that the number of cases that are being reported now?
I totally agree with what Dr. Brito has said, that vaccination, we missed the bus. We should have caught on to that bus much before. Number two, one of the speakers who spoke, the panelists who spoke about using the, the same vehicle that is being used for elections, if that is used, I think we can vaccinate. It's a brilliant idea. If that is done, I think we'll be able to vaccinate most of our population. And let us not talk about wave after wave. Let me tell you, this wave is going to be there for another maybe 2 years, maybe another 3 years. It is going to come. But we have to see to it that we vaccinate everybody. That is the weapon, the only weapon that we have. Do you know the problem that we are facing nowadays in treating the patient? We have stopped remdesivir, tocilizumab, plasma, steroids, and now when the patient gets admitted, if we tell them to use the antibodies cocktail, they say, why should we use? Why are you giving us remdesivir? The doctors are so much in a fix that they don't know what to say, because the patients give in writing that we do not want to be treated like this. So where is the treatment of COVID-19? What are we talking about? Why are we harping about issues again and again and again, rather than seeing how to resolve, seeing how to see to it that we vaccinate everybody?
Absolutely.
I totally agree with Dr. Brito, and it was not nice seeing you, Dr. Brito, and also these other panelists who said it's a brilliant idea. If somebody can listen to what he is saying, that, come on, use the same machinery to vaccinate our Indian citizens.
That's what Dr.
Wonderful.
Sibal said.
I totally agree.
That is what Dr. Sibal's idea is, that if India can have an election on that scale, then why not scale up the vaccination drive similarly? Dr. Sibal, thank you so much, and thanks for sharing that thought with us. Dr. Parker, Dr. Garg, Dr. Gupta and Dr. Brito, thank you so much. This is a discussion, of course, that will be continuing. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.